Ray.
I'm Raven.
And I'm Chio.
And I want to thank you for coming on today. I actually posted like last minute, who wants to be a pop-up guest? And she joined us. So I'm so thankful. I'm so thankful. And I haven't seen you in a long time.
Yes, it has been a long time.
Yeah, but we always text and stay in
Yes.
contact. So I just love our like social media friendship.
Yes,
I'm
I
always
do.
telling my friends like, I just love her. Like, I swear. So to get started, we kind of want to do like, we're going to start with TikTok of the week for the first segment. So I've seen this girl on TikTok talking about a baby daddy is getting married, right? Mm-hmm. So he's having an engagement party. So he tells the baby mama of his child to get, well, first he goes out and gets clothes for like him, his wife, and their children. He gets all them outfits for the engagement party, but then tells his baby mama that she needs to go get an outfit for their son together. Does that make sense? Y'all following me?
Yeah.
Okay, so she needs to get the outfit for him, for the son.
For the son.
Okay.
Even though he went out and bought outfits for his kids with the fiance. Okay, so she goes last minute, she gets the outfit. I don't see nothing bitter in sight with that. She goes gets the outfit last minute, but then she posts on social media like, last minute getting this outfit for his stuff. Like, I'm having to run around and get it together, you know? And so everybody's telling her that she's bitter for posting about it. So I want to ask y'all, like, what do y'all think about it? Because me personally, I feel like everybody's missing the problem. I feel like he should have got his son something to wear along with the other kids whenever he went shopping for the other kids.
Yes.
Yeah. What do y'all think?
Well, I think the same thing. Like, if you can get it for your kids with this new woman, you can get it for your child that you've already had.
Exactly.
Like, what was the difference between that?
Exactly. And y'all are color coordinating and stuff like that. So why can't you make sure he's going to have the same color, the same style, the same texture, whatever y'all going. Instead of telling this lady to go find her son an outfit. Like, how is she bitter for that?
Right.
For posting about it, you know?
Right. She was just probably trying to, express herself.
And me personally, my son wouldn't have went. Like, if you can't get him an outfit to go to your event, he's not going.
Yeah, because why are you, like, kind of, like, singling him out?
Yeah.
You know, like, that's your kid, too.
Mm-hmm. So, and again, it's your event. Like, you're getting married. I'm not benefiting off of this, so we can do it out.
Yes.
So that's the TikTok that I seen that grabbed my attention. I wanted to see what y'all thought about that, too.
Yeah, I just think that she wasn't wrong no matter what. You know, he was the one in the wrong. And for his new wife or whatever she is, she could have stepped in and said, like, hey, we can get his too. You know, so why didn't she say anything either? You know?
I agree. I feel like she kind of stepped in the back.
Yeah.
Kind of like, you know how like them little kids who just want to see something just blow up?
Yeah.
Like, I kind of feel like that was the situation with her. She was like,
I can see that.
Like, babe, don't buy him the clothes.
Yeah.
Let her do it.
Yeah.
Like, why can't she do it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can see that.
And then
I can see that.
just like the way how I feel like the mom, because I've been there, like I feel like it's okay to express yourself because think about it, at the end of the day people have social media because they think that's their friends, like you know, so I feel like I should be able to express myself with my friends and then like kind of like help me out, kind of give me 2 points side of the story.
Am I wrong?
Yes.
Yeah, I agree.
But then the funny thing about social media is that you can be public and then everybody just hop onto your business, you know? And that's the downside. But then again, the upside is like I said, you get to express yourself and then you get different point of views, kind of like our point of views right now.
Yeah. I don't think she was wrong. I feel like the father was wrong. He shouldn't have. He shouldn't have did that. That was wrong. And my son wouldn't have been attending.
That would have been one of the things.
I promise. I would have been the bitter baby mom. I would have showed them bitter. So that's what I seen this week. And
that kind of reminds me, though, I kind of seen something like that. It was like screenshots of this girl that posted. She was basically asking her baby daddy, like, can you get him for the weekend? You know, like, I always have him, like, can you give me a break? And he basically said, like, no, my girl already has 3 or so many kids, like, I can't do it, I'm not going to do it, like, you can keep him. And I'm like, it doesn't matter how many kids your girl has. You know, like, that's still your kid at the end of the day. You know, so, like, why can you not get him for a couple hours or get him for a day, you know?
That's your responsibility.
Yeah. Like, it's not all on the mom.
Yes.
Yeah.
And a lot of dads kind of think that, like, it's the mom. Like, that's who needs to take care of them.
That's what a lot of people think. Not even just dads.
Yeah.
So Okay, then that was all I had for my TikTok. The A on trial this week.
Okay, so basically, I kind of seen this lady that gave her kids up to CPS. Have you seen that?
No, I haven't seen that one yet.
But because this is
how you're overwhelmed.
because I love them, and this is hard. Like this is killing me.
Yeah.
But it's for the better. Like it's for me to get my life better and focus on my schooling, my career, my health. Number one, my health, so I don't fucking die, because I can't do shit for them if I'm dead.
Yeah.
I can't stop stressing if I don't have help. You know. So it's like. And it's like the dads didn't want to help me. They wanted to see me beat. I done lost everything so many fucking times. But you know what? Like I said, I'm going to come back for them. And as far as the whole foster whole thing, like, will it be open? Will I still be able to, like, see them, bring them gifts?
Okay. So, she gave her kids up to CPS, but she told the lady that she still wanted to be able to buy her kids things. Then later on, they found out that she just wanted to run up some money, and it had nothing to do with her mental health. Because she was kind of saying that, you know, I can't do it, like I'm doing it by myself, like kind of like mental health, you know? Mm-hmm. So then she's also going to school for medical assistant, and she kept bringing that up, saying I go to school, 2 different schools, doing this and that. Like I don't have the energy, basically, is what she's saying. Mm-hmm. So then she makes a post on Facebook, and it says, I have the screenshot right here. It says, I just want to clock in and get some money, then go shake some ass in someone's club. Get some more, and then flip it into some more money. Then go to OT and pick up and get the bag there. So, what do y'all think? Y'all think she's wrong for giving her kids up to CPS willingly without even, you know, like, she's saying that she couldn't do it and, like, it was hard for her. She has no help, but a lot of parents don't have any help, and we still do it.
Yes.
You know?
I was about to say, I might get some heat for this, but I feel personally, then this is just my opinion and my feeling, that if you are a woman and you brought a child to this world, you cannot give up.
Right.
No matter what life throws at you, you cannot give up, because at the end of the day, that was your blessing, that the man up above chose you for a particular reason. Not her, not you. You know, there's a reason why I have my 2 boys. There's a reason why you have yours. You know, everyone has their own angels for a reason. And when I see women just like throw in the towel, not even trying, that's what gets to me. Try at least. And then if you fail, get up and try again. Like, it's kind of like when you take a test. Yes, you failed it once, but what, you keep going. And I'm pretty sure y'all have had teachers where they keep pressuring you, take it again, take it again, take it again. And then what happens? You pass. And so that's kind of how I look at, like, motherhood. You can't just, when the first crack of the mirror happens, you can't just give up. You can't just throw in the towel. Like, yes, I've had my club moments and all that, but I tell people I felt like I was responsible in a way, because, like, I always made sure they had childcare. I always paid for childcare, and I always got heat because they would be like, oh, her kid is 10 years old and she's out in the club, you know, and I would be like, but you didn't know I just worked a 65-hour shift the whole week. You know? Like, you're not the one putting food on my table. So why should you, how can I put it? Why would your feelings bother me?
How you feel shouldn't matter.
Yes.
Right, yeah.
Because, like, and then it goes back to motherhood. Like, if, like, let's say I feel like this path is the correct path, and you feel like a different path is the correct path, we can't judge each other. Right. Because that's just how motherhood is. Like, there is no right or wrong. We weren't given a manual when they came out, you know, so there isn't no right way or wrong way to do it.
Okay, then. For me, I will say I do disagree, just because, like, I feel like people would have been bashing her. One thing I will say, I want to add on that she did make posts on Facebook saying, like, can somebody come get these kids? Like, this is too much. Can somebody come get these kids from me? Like you said, you're a mom. You should go hard. I agree with that. I feel like every mom should go as hard. If you fail, get back up, because you're a mom.
Yes.
At the end of the day. But I feel like she did the right thing by giving those kids up to CPS, because I feel like she would have been wrong if she would have just kept the kids and mistreated them. Like, didn't feed them because she wanted to go turn up, or, you know, lagged and slacked off as a mom, or mistreated them because she wanted to go have fun and she couldn't.
Right.
So I feel like, I mean, you should be a mom, but I think that she did the right thing by saying, I don't want to be a mom, so I'm putting these kids in a safe position.
Right.
I try to get my family and their fathers to come and get these kids, and they don't want to, so this is my next step. I feel like that was better than keeping those kids in a toxic, miserable environment. That's my standpoint with it.
Since I'm a mother, I agree with both. You know, like, I agree with you because as a mom, I can't just say, I don't want my kids anymore because I want to go party and I want to do this. I can't just push them to the side because they're my kids. And I brought them here into this world. So it's wrong. I think it would be wrong for me to choose my life over theirs because they didn't choose to be here. You know, that's how I feel about that. Well, I get what you're saying because, you know, it's better that they don't get mistreated. But she has to think, like, there was other ways to do that instead of, like, just taking them, like, if I'm not mistaken, it was like late at night to the place. Like, they could have been sleeping. Let them sleep. And if you want to take them in the morning. But still, I feel like there was more options probably because I also seen posts where she didn't let some of the dads or something like that be in the life. Like, one dad made a video saying, like, so you're going to kill my kid. And she was pregnant at the time. And she was like, yeah. And, like, the dad was trying to get the kid and she wouldn't let them. You know, so I feel like she was wrong for doing what she did. You know, because, like, you might have reached out to some of your family, but there's somebody that you could have gave those kids to, because CPS is not always the route to go, because they can get mistreated there also.
You right.
You know, like, they can get neglected in CPS. Like, it's not always glitter and gold there. So, I mean, that's how I feel. Like, she should have kept trying. Like, you can't give up. You can't give up.
I feel that point too. I do really 100% for that point. But I guess since I'm not a mom yet, I just feel like, I feel like those kids are better off there than with her, and she don't want them to mistreat them or let anything happen to them. You know, that's just where I'm coming from.
I mean, it's just the thing too. Like, she's like, oh, but I still want to do for them for their birthday and this and that.
And she said she was gonna come back for them. She was like, I just want to get on my feet and I'm gonna come back for them. That's what she was telling the CPS worker.
But I feel like 9 times out of 10, parents don't go back.
Yeah. I mean, I don't see her.
You know what I mean? Honestly. I feel like 9 out of 10 times the parent don't come back. And then you leave that hope in that child's head.
Yeah.
And then when you feel like you want to or feel like you want to pop up like a little puppet, that's not fair to
That's not fair, no.
And I kind of like wanted to say another thing, point out, like, if she did feel that type of way, there's plenty of resources out here in the like kind of, for example, I was a teen mom. I had my kid at 15 years old. Everyone kept swearing up and down that child services was going to get them. You know, they even came and warned me because my family's not very, like, we don't have a lot of money type of life. Well, I came from a little area like that. And so my mom at the time, she lived in a 1-bedroom trailer, and CPS literally told me at 15 years old, you can either get a job, get your own apartment, and get your son and yourself a room, or we can just take him from you. So me as a 15-year-old, and y'all probably were 15 too at one point in your life, you know how hard it is to get a job at that age.
Yeah.
So I was somehow, some miracle way, I figured out how to get a job. I got my own apartment. And I was able to get his own crib and a bed, just enough for her to go through and see it. And then she was like, okay, you're good. She's like, this is all I ask from a parent.
Yeah.
And then I was honest with her, and I was like, what do I do if I'm stressed or like, you know, what if I feel alone? Because at that time, I was 15. The father left. You know, he had his own thing going on. So I felt like that stress, that pressure. And then that's when she told me, well, aren't you educated? And then I got quiet and I was like, excuse me? Because I thought she was insulting me there for a second, you know? And I was like, what do you mean? And she's like, well, you're educated, right? You have a high school diploma. You should know that there's resources out in your community. And so when she told me like that, I was like, okay, you know what? She got a point. You know, let me sit down and look for it. And there is a lot of resources, like the Boys and Girls Club. You got, I think it's called Hope. The Hope House. We have a greenhouse too here that helps you with psychology and stuff like that.
Okay.
And they teach you. They can teach you. And that's another thing that kind of like, I feel like parents that want to give up need to turn to resources, like maybe doctors, maybe your local community. Volunteer somewhere to de-stress. You feel overstressed. That's what I do. When I feel overstressed, me and my teenager, we go volunteer in our community. It's either picking up trash, helping the animals, or if it's either just like feeding the homeless people, you know, just to keep that mind busy, and just by seeing everyone happy makes you happy. And then you kind of forget about the club, you forget about the drinking, you know, you forget about all that stuff. And that's what I feel like a lot of moms tend to do. They're like, I'm stressed, what do I do? Let me just drink. Because it's the fastest, closest thing. I mean, think about it. You can go to the gas station and grab you a little beer and come back home, and that's it. You know? So that's why I feel like you have resources, and also we are all educated. So I feel like you should use your education and really shine through. You know, instead of just, oh well, I'm just gonna give up. You know?
You can't give up. I just think.
She's like, you can't give up.
You can't. I mean, it's been plenty of times where I'm like, oh my God, like, I don't have money to do this. I don't have money to do that for my kid. But it's like, I find a way. You know, I make a way because my kids need me. You know, that's just that. So,
okay. Hey. I agree with everything y'all said. I just feel like, hey, in that situation, she gave her kids up, and I feel like that was the best thing for her to do. Rather than wreck those kids' lives. So, that's all you have for the on trial this week? Okay, then. To follow up on our on trial last week with Suki and JT, though, did you see JT drop the diss track?
I seen, but I didn't listen to it.
I mean, I listened to it, but it was whack. Did you know about the Suki and JT beef? Okay, we'll talk about that.
So it was just like a question that I have, like, because this is Hill and Sisters. So my thing is, when men or guys or whatever know that they don't want you, why do they keep dragging you along? Like, what do y'all feel? You know, like, they can treat you however, and you love them, but they don't want you, but they keep feeding into it, you know, dragging you along. So what do y'all think? Why do they do that?
I feel like it could be for, like, their benefit. Maybe you, like, providing them something that they need, whether that's, like, the way you're making them feel. Maybe you make them feel more of a man. Maybe you just make them feel good, period. Or it just could be like sex or like money or just something that they're getting from you beneficial that they're like, I can't let this go. So I'm going to string it along. But sometimes I find myself like in the beginning stages of talking to somebody, and you just be wondering, like, are you stringing me along, sir? Or like, what's going on? So as far as that kind, I don't know. I'm like, are you stringing or what? I don't know.
What do you think about that?
Oh, that one, I kind of feel like I experienced that in life already. So I want to say, like, how I felt like I got stringed around was they didn't tell me that they were already married. So I met this person in a carpet mill, and carpet mills are so dangerous and so messy. Like, I'm talking about messy.
You will have a work husband and a work wife.
I've experienced that.
And so I met the guy there. He swore up and down that he didn't have family, he was single, and This is me in my early 20s, so of course, you know, head over heels. I was like, ooh, and older guys looking at me, you know, like all that, you know, so I was over here feeling myself. So then, come to find out, he told me that he needed a place to stay because his house got flooded. And I thought it was really weird because I was like, well, we haven't had a lot of rain, you know, how does this happen? You know? And so like, there I am asking him, and he's like, no, it's because I live beside a lake, and you know, let's not go into details. Do you have a place I can crash? And like, gullible me, you know, I'm like, okay, yeah, sure. Girl, let me tell you, when I went through this man's phone, he was talking not only to me, but 6 different other females.
Not 6.
Yes.
How do you do that?
And so there I am, you know me, my little horns come out. So I decided to pretend to be him, and I texted the group, like I made a group chat with all 6 of the females, and I linked my address. And I was like, come over, honey, I'm waiting for you. So there you see, Juan, 6 females. Pulling up fast. Yes, I'm kidding not. It felt like a movie. I opened the door and I'm like, come on in.
Oh, wow.
Let me give you a tour.
Yeah.
Literally gave him a tour of the whole thing. And then after, one of the girls told me that she was pregnant. Yes, she got pregnant by him. So right when she said that, all the other girls left. Kind of like the club, like they were like, bye, this is my beef no more. And so I'm sitting there looking at this pregnant girl like, what do I do with you? You know? I already called you over here. And so when we confronted him, he literally, I had her right beside me, and he was like, I don't know what you're talking about. I have never talked to any other females. Like, you're the only person I've talked to.
So what he say to the girl? What did the girl say?
She's standing right there crying. Like, what do you mean? That's not what you were telling me 2 days ago when you were impregnating me. Yes. And so they're going at it, and I was like, I gotta go. Like, this ain't my beef no more. So then I closed the door, and then finally, I guess it clicked in his head what I did. And so he literally was trying to strangle me because I told on him. And then my argument was like, why are you getting so upset for a situation that you did? And I just called out the truth on everything. You can't get mad. And so ever since that day, all that happened, to this day, that man still looks for me. And keep in mind, I don't have a kid by him or anything. And to me, like, I came to the conclusion that he's a sick man because he keeps going lower for the girls. First it was like me, and then the girl after me was like, I think 5 years. Now he's in the teenagers, like 19, 18, like 20, like,
It's like he's looking for whoever he can manipulate.
Yes. And I came to, the reason why I told y'all that story is that the reason why I came to the conclusion, I feel like some men are just mentally sick in their mind by their hormones, that they feel like that they're this empowerment person that's unstoppable until they meet someone like me.
Okay, then.
I mean, I just think, I'm answering my question too, but I don't know how to answer it either because, I asked it, so I'm looking for answers. But I feel like they do drag you along also because they, like you said, benefit. Like you have something that they want
that they could,
and they can use, and they know that you're gonna do it kind of better than anybody else. Like if it's money, you're gonna give them money whenever they ask. Sex, you're gonna give them sex whenever they ask. Like you're gonna do certain things for them that they can't get nowhere else. So they're gonna keep pulling you along until they can't use you anymore. That's what I think, but I will never know why they do it.
I agree with you. I really do, because I noticed that with that little situation that I went through, each message was like different. Like one message to one girl would be like, "Hey, when are you buying me new Jordans?" The other one would be like, "Oh, where are you taking me to go get a fade?" And then like the next one would be like, "So are you dropping me off food on my break?" You know what I mean? So I kind of see that point where you mean that like they need something from that person. But then what do you do when you have too many people and you can't juggle them?
Exactly. So for my sisters, we did have some guy guests that were supposed to come on. So my question was for them too. And Raven's asked this on the podcast before too. But why do niggas be so mad when we do the same thing that they did? So I wanted the guys to kind of answer that. But I'm going to answer my question. That I feel like guys don't think that we're capable of doing the same thing that they done.
Right.
Like, I've been in a situation where a nigga will be like at a club and like talk to other girls, and I find out about it. So I'm like, okay, next weekend I'm gonna do the same thing. Right. And then they be so shocked when I do, and I be like, did you think I was ugly or something? So to me, it feels like y'all just don't think we can, and that's what they be like, God damn, this bitch she got the juice like me. Like, no way, bitch, I pulled you too though. So I'm like, put that in perspective before you just think I don't got no capabilities out here. But so why do y'all think niggas be so mad when we do the same thing they did?
Like you said, they don't think that they can, you can do it. But two, they don't know how to feel the hurt that they don't know how to cope that pain that we went through. So they don't know how to deal with it. So they feel like they can dish out this hurt, but when it's done to them, they feel their knees buckling, like they don't know what to do. Sweating.
Down the 2 sides. Wow, that's funny. Yeah.
That's how I feel like that's what it is. Like they can't handle it. They don't know how to feel. They don't know that pain. And I feel like as females, we know that pain because not saying that we get it done to us all the time, but it's more. What's the word I'm looking for? It's more
common for us. And I say that because not to cut you off, but women are emotional creatures. And that's why we deal with it so much. And niggas, they're just sexual creatures. Like they just want to fucking, we want to feel emotion. So like our emotions get tied up.
My hair.
Like
bring me flowers.
Cuddle me, like just make me feel small. My big tall ass.
What do you think?
I think that's a hard one. I
Yeah.
I can relate to her. I feel like, I don't know.
It's just, I mean, that's just what I think, like, I just think that they can't handle it.
They can't, totally, no, because, like, it's like, okay, so, it's kind of like, they get so sour.
Yeah.
Like, I mean, it's like they bit into a Sour Patch or
Yeah.
something, they're like, I can't believe she did that to
Yeah.
me,
Yeah.
And it's like, no, you can't be like that.
Yeah.
Swallow it.
The way we did.
Yes,
Like,
swallow
The way I took that shit to the chest. I want to see you that too.
But they can't.
They
Be
can't.
crying and knocking on your window
And jumping on your roof.
Yes. Agreed. Totally. I've seen it.
Okay,
I've been through it.
So let me ask y'all another question.
Yes.
Okay, now this is sisters, but this is just came to my mind.
Okay.
So how do y'all deal with anxious? Do y'all know what attachment styles are? Have y'all
What do you mean?
attachment styles? There's different. You can be like anxious. You can be like just like the way you attach to somebody. It comes from like a childhood thing, but like. For me, I feel like mine is anxious. Like, I just like, oh my God, what are you doing? Do you like me? Da, da, da. Like,
Yes.
You know what
Yes.
I mean? So how do y'all deal with that? Like, do y'all know y'all's attachment
I
style?
don't.
You don't?
What are
Let me
they?
search them out real quick.
Yeah, because I don't know what those, what they are.
Yeah.
Is that like the clinginess?
Yes.
Because I'm not gonna lie,
I'm clingy.
I'm a clingy friend. Like if I vibe with you, I'm like, hey.
Yeah.
Okay,
doing?
so there's
touchy.
avoidant, there is disorganized, fearful, secure, and then secure. I said secure twice. Anxious, attachment through life, disorganized. There's just different types of way that you intimate relation. It's just a different way that you attach to people. Mine is really anxious though, and it kind of comes from like basically like maybe in my childhood I've experienced so like maybe I had a good happy day one day, and then the next day was not happy, or I didn't know when I would have another happy day in my childhood. So whenever I deal with somebody, I'm really anxious. Like I'm like, are we gonna be good? Are we still good tomorrow?
Yeah.
Are we still good? Like you still like me?
No,
You know what I mean?
Because that's me. I'm the type that I'm like, do you love me? Do you like me?
And my daddy, am I still your baby? Like that, literally.
But that is me, and that makes sense because I'm always that person. Like, I'm like, you don't like me no more, do you? Like,
Yeah.
Be for a Raven. You like, if they didn't like you, come on now. You know?
They wouldn't be here.
Yes.
But that's
I
me.
Mine, I think, would be clinginess. I'm the type
Okay.
of person I will follow you. Like you're trying to go over here, and I'm like, you just.
I hate those. I hate those.
Sorry, you're gonna hate me then.
Can you have more than one? Because the clingy is me. I'm like, can we cuddle?
Yes.
Or like they're gone and like I just want to text. Like
Hey,
they should
what are
be.
you doing?
Yeah, that's me.
You just walked out my house.
That is me.
You okay, baby?
You make me say it.
Yeah, you can. I mean, you might have multiple.
That's me because like Keandre yesterday, he was out, having a good time, and I'm like, what are you doing? Like when you come back, and I should not be like that. Just let him have his time, but I can't help it.
Yes.
And I text him the same. Do you love me? You still want to be with me? Do you want to be with me forever? That's how I am, and it's probably annoying.
Yeah, you don't realize it.
Yes, no, imagine having a hormonal teenager and then you're clingy.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Like, he gets so irritated with me. He'll be like, Mom, I'm literally just in the kitchen. Like, our living room don't even have a door. Like, why do you have to be behind me? And I'm just like, I don't know. I just want to see what you're doing.
I don't know. I just want to see.
I just want to see,
No, because like when she said that, it reminded me like with Kaz, he's a baby, so like, he's almost 2. And I'll be trying to cuddle with him, and he's like pushing my hand away, and I just want to cuddle. Like, come on, you're my friend.
Yeah.
But Jace, he'll let me, let me play with me, But then Kaz, like, he wants to cuddle when I don't want to cuddle. Like, back
That's
up.
me. That's me. I'm Kaz.
Back up.
Kaz a Cancer.
He is.
Yeah.
He's
Cancer.
yeah.
That's where he gets it from. So yeah, I just wanted to know y'all's attachment style. I feel like my anxious attachment style, I really hate it. It bothers me because I be in my head so much like, he doesn't like me. He just wants to fuck. y'all. Again, we were supposed to have men on, so I feel like this would have been a really good discussion to have, but I'm still asking y'all, since y'all are parents. If a man asks you to have an abortion, and he offers to pay for the abortion, and you don't, is he obligated to take care of the child?
Ooh.
That one's hard because I feel yes and no.
Okay.
Yes, because it's still your child. You know, like, it's still your kid, so how can you be out here and knowing that you have a kid and don't want to take care of it? Then my no is like, okay, you basically told me from the jump you didn't want this kid. So how can I ask for you to do anything because you let me know that you didn't want anything to do with the kid?
Exactly.
So I have a yes and no. You know, it's kind of hard.
I feel like this kind of touches topic with, because remember I told y'all I was 15 when I first got pregnant, and that kind of did happen because, like I said, he already kind of had a family already. So when I was like, hey, I'm pregnant, like the first thing that came out of his mouth was like, no, you need to have an abortion. Like, my baby mama cannot find out about this one. So when I heard that, my heart dropped because I was like, oh my God, what do I do in this situation? But I personally kept it because even though he didn't want it and he did want me to, you know, go through the abortion and all that, I didn't want to go through that type of pain because I already, at that time, was struggling with clinginess already. Like, I was struggling with depression and all of that already, so I didn't want to add on to it and make it worse or, you know, something go left, you know? So I was like, I'll keep him, that way I can have, like, I'll never be alone.
Oh, yeah.
That was my thought. And then, and fast forward 15 years later, thank God I did keep him because, you know, he helps me around my house. Like, for example, I couldn't reach something on the fridge. I don't know why I put pots and pans over the fridge when I know I can't reach. And my son literally comes behind me and like, like, Mom, why didn't you ask me? Like, I'm almost 6 foot tall. Like, that's what I'm here for. And hearing that kind of made my heart glow because I was like, and to this day, I haven't charged the father child support because of the reason that he told me, like, I want you to abort it. I want you, you know, I have nothing to do with you or him. And it's hard sharing that at the age of 15, you know. So that's why I chose not to put him on child support. And to this day, it's like we both went our own ways. And the only people that try to put pressure on it is his mom. But me and him, no, that's not what he wanted.
Okay.
So that's why, like, I kind of took that route. I didn't charge him child support because I felt kind of like, well, he didn't want it, but I didn't want to commit. And in my religion, it's a sin. So I didn't want to commit a sin. So I just felt like if we just parted ways by ourselves and not like ever see each other again, like we should be okay.
And I agree with that because what I would say is I don't think the man is obligated to take care of the child if he offers to pay for it and everything. And I'm glad that you did bring up, like, you don't want to go through that pain. And you didn't bring it up in the sense, but, like, either way, like, medically, you're going to go through pain. Like, at the end of the pregnancy or right now while you have the abortion. So I feel like that kind of marks that out. But I feel like if a man tells you, like, here's the money, I don't want this kid, then in the future, 7 years later, 15 years later, you can't make that man feel obligated to take care of the child because he told you. So I like the way you're going about it. You know, like, you're still not trying to make him responsible. You know, so if you do choose to keep the kid, then you cannot make him obligated to take care of the child because he said, no, I do not want this child. So that's my standpoint.
And that's why I have a yes and a no. You know? It's just like my obligation for him to take care of it is like, because how can you be out here and know that you have this child and not want to? Like, yeah, maybe while I was pregnant you didn't want it, you know, because I'm pregnant. But now that you see my kid here, and like you see how amazing they are and this and that, how can you not want to be a part of their life?
Because I never wanted to be.
Like,
simple as that.
And as harsh as that sounds, like the way how your sister said it, is keep in mind, I was 15, so I was going through development, you know, my hormones changing, and I would be like, why does he even want my kid? Like, what makes my kid, like, not wantable? But then, you know, obviously I hit 18, I matured, I took the parenting classes, you know, I took all that stuff, and it taught me that, you know, just some people, like how blank you said, you know,
they just don't want no child.
Okay, but if you had other kids, like, what makes my kid different from your kid?
And that's, I was just about to, you know, talk that, but, you know, I didn't want to go that bad. But see, and that's what I didn't understand was because, you know, for instance, my father's son, he told me he didn't want to do nothing with my kid, but yet he went and popped out 7 more kids after that one kid, and I'm just like,
yeah, what's the difference?
Make it make sense.
You can't question on that though. If a man tells you he does not want that kid,
well, you shouldn't have been.
You can't ask other questions.
You shouldn't have been nothing.
You either take the money and go.
You shouldn't have been nothing. You knew what it was gonna be. You knew what it could be. So you shouldn't have did it. You should have. You didn't want my kid.
You know you can get pregnant off pre-cum.
Okay, and you shouldn't have been fucking me. You didn't want that.
You should have been fucking raw.
Well, okay, and he should have used a condom.
That's another thing that I was gonna say. To this day, I use a condom, and I know I should have used that before. You know, I kind of got the steps backwards. But
you learned your lesson.
It's only 2. I'm at number 2 for a reason. You know, that's it.
Okay, that was good. That was good. So, the next thing I wanted to ask y'all is about in-house dick. Okay, so I know you live with a man and you've experienced living with a man. You got a boyfriend at home, right?
Yes.
Okay, so a woman made a status saying that a man eventually, like, living together, he got to make appointments. Like, we're not fucking as often as he would like. And then she was like, eventually he will start saying, like, oh, it's been 6 days. Like, damn, we still ain't fucked in 6 days. And then people started sharing it and commented saying, like, oh, it's time to cheat if you ain't had none in 6 days. And other people commented saying, like, if you're not fucking your man for 6 days for no reason, it's 100% wrong. So what do y'all think about that? Like, if you're living with a man, what do y'all think?
I don't have to fuck every day.
Yes, I agree with
that.
I agree, yeah.
You know, like, I can go, I mean, sometimes I want to, but, you know, you have to respect those boundaries, though, because there's times where, say, he wants to and I'm not in the mood. You know, like, I have to respect that. Or, you know, if he's in the mood and, I mean, he's not in the mood and I want to and he don't want to, then I have to be like, okay. But as long as we're still every fucking once in a while fucking, like, okay, that's fine. Like, we don't have to fuck Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, skip Monday. No, it don't have to be that. If it happens, it happens. But I can go Monday and then not again until next Monday. That's fine.
Okay.
See, but okay. So my thing is that, like, okay, if you notice that in your partner that, you know, they're not the sexually like, why not communicate?
Yeah.
Am I doing something wrong?
Yeah.
Or, you know, are you too stressed? Are you overstimulated? Is there, maybe I could wash some dishes for you? You know what I mean? Help that stress. I feel like if men were more like that, we would be more like, okay,
I'll be there right now.
You know, like, type of thing. But I feel like as a pressure as a woman, we gotta cook, clean, wash, and then pick up after the kids, and then all that. And then on top of that, you still want me to satisfy you?
Yeah.
Like, that's like another chore. You know? And then, like, for example, like me, I'm on medication. So that medication doesn't make me that sexual, you know? So there's months I can go. And but I don't mean to. Yeah. And then, like, you know, I'm looking at a calendar, I'm like, oh snap, you know, it's been a minute. Let me get the mojo going.
And, you know, you have to think too, like, has that woman or that man been working long hours? They tired. You know, they might be tired from work or anything else. Like, you can't just think about yourself. You got to think about them too and their well-being. They're exhausted. If they're bringing their money for you and, like, making sure every bill's paid because they're working overtime, then you can expect to get money, overtime, this paid, nails, this, and sex.
Yes.
You can expect that. And just like for the man, they can't get the house clean, the kids taken care of, this, and sex. Like, you know, you gotta compromise a little bit.
So you don't think a man should go out here and cheat just because he ain't
No.
Me neither.
Don't they got pocket pussies or something?
You got your hands.
And if that's a problem, if you feel like I'm not satisfying you the way you need to be, and you feel like you need to go cheat, then leave me before you go cheat.
So I was thinking about to where you said have conversations because I've never really lived with a nigga for real, like this our house type shit. But I have been in relationships where
Don't even do it.
Thank you. But I've been in a relationship where you know, obviously we're fucking and shit, and I'm just not the type of person that want to fuck all the time. Like, I can go 2 weeks without wanting to fuck. But niggas been like, I need some coochie type shit. And I'll communicate to you like, hey, like, I'm just not the type of person. But then problems arise and they're just like, I want some coochie. And I'm just like, I'm sorry, but I can't do it. So I'm just like, I feel like at that point, you should have left me when I told you I could not meet you there sexually.
Satisfy your needs.
Like, if I communicate, if a woman communicates to you that they cannot satisfy you that much, then leave. Don't say, oh, it's okay, and then turn around and be mad when they can't please you how you want to be pleased. Like, yeah, communication is a big thing, but men have to be willing to listen or willing to
understand that.
Yes.
Really solve the problem. Either I'm gonna leave or I'm gonna stay and really be okay with it. I don't want to hear it.
And I mean, sex it's more than sex for a relationship. There, you know, like if you only base it off sex and that's what you need to make this relationship last, then that's really no relationship there.
Exactly.
It can be like anything. It can be like just going out having fun, just sitting there doing nothing. You on your phone, I'm on my phone, like you know, like anything. It don't have to be just strictly sex for this relationship to work.
Okay, then.
And if you feel like it's only sex and make it work, then I feel like you only look
probably
at
not
me.
here.
You look at me only for sex. You don't
as a sexual.
Yeah, you don't look at me for the other qualities I have.
Yeah, I agree with that, and that's what That's what I was expressing in that relationship. It is really good. That's what I was expressing, like in that relationship. Like you see me as a sexual, like I don't know, like I don't want to say presentation, but like you know what I mean. Like,
would you say like maybe it's like an illness? Could it be?
Yeah, honestly,
like,
honestly.
Those men kind of scare me. The ones that are like, come here, we're gonna do it. You know, it's like, whoa, like warm me up.
Yeah. Something. Oh my God, bro! Like my coochie's not gonna get wet till you say I want to fuck. My coochie's actually drying up. Like kiss on my neck a little bit. Like rub on me. Something.
You gotta turn me on some kind of way. You can't just tell me.
Yes. Okay. All right. Good. So. Did you have a topic?
Okay, yeah. So, the way you were raised makes the person you are in a relationship. Do y'all feel like it makes you that person?
Yes.
Or do you,
of course.
So, what do you think, like, what is your thoughts on it? Like, if you're being raised, okay, say this. Being raised in a home that's all loving, and you're used to that, it affects the way you are in a relationship. So like in that relationship, you want to be loving and you want to hear I love you because you're used to that.
Yeah.
You know, like you don't want to. It's like some men kind of or women kind of get annoyed with I love you all the time. I love you. I love you. I love you. You know, but that's what your partner is used to by the way they grew up.
Yes.
Or the other way. They didn't get that affection growing up, so they don't know how to show it. You know, and the partner's like, damn, like, do you love me?
Yeah.
But you know that person don't know how to show it because they weren't raised that way to show affection. You know, you get what I'm saying?
Yes, I agree. I totally agree with that because so like in my household, a lot of people tell me that I'm really nice and that I'm very caring and that I'm genuinely always happy. But it's like I would tell them like in my household, I felt like it was very lonely because I mentioned it earlier to y'all. I had older siblings, so like. When I was born, my older sibling was a teenager.
Yeah.
Think about it. What teenager wants to stay at home babysitting their little, sibling? Nobody.
We're here right now.
You know what I mean? Like nobody wants to do that. And so I felt like growing up, I was like kind of like a bother. Like you know, like I would be like, "Hey, what y'all doing?" They would be like,
"Get the fuck out of here."
Yes. Like, you know, and I would be like, "Man, why are y'all so mean?"
Yeah.
You know? Like I just want to see what y'all are doing, and maybe that's where the cleanliness comes. Where I always follow people, and I'm like a little duckling, like you know.
Yeah.
And then I feel like that instead of me taking that into a negative way, I could have been like, well, I didn't get no love or affection at my house. I'm gonna be this way towards my kids. I want them to be the same way. But no, honestly, I took that and I spun it around and did it the opposite. Like that's why I always tell people when I impact you, I want y'all to remember me like, oh, she was always happy, like you know, like always I can hear her laugh in my head, you know, like that's what I want y'all to remember. You know? I don't want y'all to ever be like, man, I don't even remember who she is. Like I don't even remember conversating with her. Like she was so antisocial that you know, I don't want to be known like that. When I leave the world, I want people to just remember my giggle. Like you know, like I've always been told compared to like SpongeBob, you know, and I'm okay with that because he's a happy character and like. You know, this world is already black and white, and I feel like we need to add the color to it.
Yeah. You know, that's what I was gonna say. Also, like people that have it, and that whenever growing up, they didn't get that love. But growing, when they got older, they're like, I want to show my kid that love because I didn't get it.
Exactly.
You know, like so that really the way you were raised and the way you were brought up does determine how you are in a relationship or as a parent. I feel like.
Yeah, and I agree with both of y'all. I feel like it can affect you in a bad way or a good way. Like, just because you've seen the habit be performed so much that you picked it up and you do that thing. One thing I was going to say, that when you were saying, like, you grew up without all that, you know, that good comfort and stuff like that, that's why it made you want to be like that, because you didn't have it. Me and my daddy have this conversation all the time, because he got 3 siblings. It's him and 2 other people, and it's like one of them is one way and the other 2 is another way. Okay. So we always have that discussion, like, one way you can take it is, this worked for my parents so long, so I'm going to do the same thing. Or you can say, I want to be better than that. Right. You know what I mean? So I feel like, as far as in a relationship, if you're bringing those problems in, it's a communication thing that you need to have. Like, look, I grew up like this, so I'm not really understanding this, but I do want to feel where you're coming from. You know, it's a communication thing, relationship-wise. But like, as a living adult, as a living person, when you have those childhood things, you have to kind of pick apart. Like y'all said, like, I want to be better than what my mom was. I want to be more positive than what she was. I want to be more loving and caring than her. I want to get this from my dad. Like, you gotta have discernment. Like, yes, a lot of your personality does come from your childhood, but once you hit a certain age, you're able to say, like, okay, I'm ready to let this go. You know what I mean? And I'm at that point right now. Like, I know that I am toxic. I can say out loud, I am toxic when I'm in a relationship.
Totally, me too.
So I'm sitting back and I'm realizing what I got from my mom, what I've got from seeing my mom and dad growing up and stuff, and I can say, like, okay, I need to get rid of this stuff. You know what I mean? And communicate to my partner at the same time. I've realized this is this and this and this. This is why I act like this. I got it from my partner. You know what? I got it from my mama. But I'm ready to change it. So that's my take on it.
And that is what you have to think about, because I've heard so much arguing, I won't argue in front of my kids.
See, that's...
I won't. Like, if my son walks in and me and Keandre are arguing, I'm like, stop.
And see, that's crazy, because we grew up in the same house. And
I was just about to ask.
We grew up in the same house. Yeah, like, she came when she was like...
I came when I was in 9th grade, because my grandma raised me.
So you was a freshman, basically.
Yeah, but at the same sentence, she was always around. But, okay, I did grow up seeing... Maybe it matters because you came into it when you were already developed.
So, I mean, the thing is, like, my grandma raised me, you know, because, you know, I don't know why. But anyway, my grandma raised me, but I would still be with my mom and my stepdad and my sister. Like, I would still go on the weekends or during the weekday or whatever, because I knew my mom, and, you know, everything. Like, it was never like my mom was a stranger, you know?
Right.
So it's just like, I seen everything that my sister seen.
Yeah, but she moved in when she was 14, basically.
Yeah.
So I lived there my whole life.
Okay.
We're 6 years apart.
Okay.
So I'm like 7 years old when she moved in. But I'm saying, just to say, like, I always seen it. So, like, my sister seemed like a regular household at grandma's house. Like, we just eat dinner and y'all go play. You know what I mean? I'm seeing arguing all the time. So that's probably why I'm like, I love to argue. Like, I can't admit it when I'm talking to a nigga, like, I'm not gonna say, I like to argue. I want to argue. Yeah. But, like, I find myself, like, when we're arguing, when we're mad, like, I find myself getting, like, a rush out of it. Like, I want to keep going. You know, and it's something that I want to change, but it's crazy that you said that out loud. I wonder if it's because you came from a loving household, then seeing that, you're like, my kids don't need to deal with that.
And it might be because, like, my grandma was always the loving person. I'm not gonna say this on camera, but I slept in the bed with my grandma for a long time. Right. And I feel like that's why I like that affection. My grandma always showed me affection and love and, you know, was caring. My grandma was the type of person, like, not knowing you, if you walked up and said you were hungry, she's gonna feed you.
Yeah,
the whole meal.
Yeah, and I feel like that's why I'm who I am, because if I don't know somebody, or even working with somebody and they don't have lunch, I'm willing to share my lunch with them. Yeah. Even though I'm not gonna get full, but I'm like, you can have some, you know. Or they want something at a vending machine. If I have $3 to my name, you can get something, you know. Like, and I feel like being in that household, my grandma's household, showed me so much, you know, and it taught me the person I want to be, or maybe I seen both, you know, and I'm like, okay, I'm good on that. You know, I'm good, and I want to keep the loving thing going. So with my kids, I try to show them love and affection all the time, you know, And sometimes I'm told, like, oh, you're too soft with them, this and this and this, you're going to make them soft. But it's at the same time, like, I want to teach my kids to be tough, but I also want them to know that you can love. You don't have to be hard all the time. You can show emotion. You let it out. Like, it don't matter if something hurt your feelings. If you want to cry it out, cry it out.
Yeah.
You know, but, like, at the same time, like, the little things, I'm like, you're okay. Don't cry that out. Like, don't cry about that. You're okay, you know?
Right.
But I do want to show them, like, being loved and showing love is everything. I feel like it's everything.
Yes, I totally agree.
I feel like if you're just out here being hateful, you know, and, like, rude all the time, like, no one's going to want to be around you.
Yeah.
You're just being...
A Grinch.
So it's okay to show love, but at the same time, let somebody know that you're not the one to fuck with.
Exactly, because I will say to that, and we're gonna let this topic go. We done went. But I will say to that, you know how people say you smell like flowers. You hang with flowers, you're gonna smell like flowers. You hang with trash, you smell like trash. All that to say, like, sometimes a person will always negative energy, always got bad stuff going on, always in a bad space, always being mean. It rubs off on you.
Yes.
Like, even if it's just a regular day, you was having a good day, but you call them and they're like, oh, I'm so mad, and this happened, and that happened. Now you're just
I'm mad.
You're mad. You didn't even know why. You had a good day all day, the sun's shining, you about to get off work.
Or if you're in a good mood, not even somebody calling you, but they're coming around and you're like trying to talk to them like in a good mood, and they're like, all like, I don't care. And it ruins your mood.
Yeah, and that goes back to what I was saying last week. Like, I always make sure people that I talk to are in a good space before I talk to them. Like, hey, what you got going on? If I hear them in a good mood, don't worry about it. I'll talk to somebody else. Because I don't want to, like, bring you down. Like, okay, then, so let's go ahead and go to our last segment, motivational thoughts. I just came across this quote, and it says, breathe. Take it one step at a time. You got this. So with that being said, like, when I went through my depression, I definitely realized, like, every step you take, you're getting closer to better. As long as you're wanting better, as long as you're praying for better, as long as, like, that's your goal, every day that you take, you're getting better. So, like, just take one step at a time. You're not going to figure out every emotion right then and there. You're not going to figure out every problem. You're not going to solve it right then and there.
Exactly.
But time heals everything. And if you just take your time and one step at a time, I mean, it's kind of like looking at a whole bunch of Legos, like, just cluttered up. If you move one Lego one step at a time, like, at the end, they'll all be gone. So it's just like, just keep trying, keep wanting better for yourself, and keep taking those steps, and eventually you will be at the finish line, you know? So that's just what I want to leave with the viewers and you guys. One step at a time every day is getting you closer to happiness or whatever you're trying to achieve.
Yeah. Okay. So mine is... be the reason. This is crazy because we were just talking about this like not even 3 seconds ago. Okay. Be the reason why people believe in beautiful souls. Kind heart and good energy. Never stop being a good person.
Oh, I love that.
Yeah. So I just, like I was saying, it's always good to be around people, and you're not always going to be in a happy mood. You're not always going to be, you know, and that's why I don't like to be around people when I'm in a bad mood. I like to be on my own because I don't want to ruin anybody else's, you know, their peace. So with that being said, it's like, be nice to someone, be kind to someone, because you never know what that person is going through, mentally or physically. You know, if you're at Walmart, be nice to that cashier. Just because it didn't ring up the price that you wanted to, that it said back there, you don't have to go off on her. You know, be nice to her, because all she's doing is ringing it up and telling you your total. You don't have to go out being mad all the time and being upset with people. Show people love, show people kindness, and all that's going to come and be returned to
good
you.
karma.
Yeah.
And that just reminds me, one time I was not having the best day, but I was at, I don't know what store it was, maybe Walgreens or Walmart. And this girl, she just had the brightest smile. And she was like, have a good day. And that just made my day so much better, to the point I post about it on Snapchat and all. You never know, like, what light you can be in somebody's day. And she probably just kept going about her day and never thought of me again. But that smile in her beautiful face, just like telling me have a good day, I was like, thank you, queen. I'm gonna have a good day, you know? So yeah, that's true. Yeah.
You just gotta always, you know, try your best, even no matter what. You try to do your best to be kind to someone, because that little bit of kindness that little bit of "you're beautiful" or that little bit of "have a great day" or whatever it is can really make someone's day.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. Like, I think it was last week. It's barely April 30th. Well, a couple days passed. You know, my uncle passed away, and he was my favorite uncle, and you know, I love him to death, and you know, rest in peace and everything. But I was going to Walmart to buy flowers, and the lady was like, "Do you want me to help you pick them out because you look stressed?" You know, and I guess my face sometimes, you know, I'm a very facial person, so I guess I could tell. And just by her helping me pick out simple flowers, I felt like took the nerve. Like I was all shaky, and I was like, "Oh my God, what color do I pick?" You know, like nervous breakdown. And just how genuine, like she looked concerned, helping me look for the flowers, and then like she was like, "Here, these are the prettiest ones I picked out." Like that just took so much ease off my heart that I was like, you know, a complete stranger who don't even know me is so super nice to me, and it makes me feel this way. Imagine how I would feel if my family member did this to me.
Right.
You know.
Sorry, I was taking my shot. But yeah, that was really good. Well, I do want to say Happy Mother's Day to both of you.
Thank you.
Thank y'all for coming. On the note of Mother's Day, what you talking about, calm people, I do kind of want to just take a moment to appreciate grandmama. Yeah. Because she was very a kind soul, and that was somebody that I'm so appreciative of her because she showed me who Christ was. Like, I would have not known who God was if it wasn't for her. I wouldn't have had a relationship that I had with him because of her. So I'm so thankful for her of that. And then just the kindness that she always showed. I feel like, I don't know if I ever heard grandma say this, but I feel like her like mission on earth was to be kind to everybody, to show everybody love, to show everybody grace, to make everybody feel welcome, and she definitely accomplished that. So I'm so thankful for my grandma to be an example for my life, and then also just really teaching me who God was. I am so thankful for that more than anything. Like I would have not known who God was if it was not for my grandma. So I'm so thankful for that more than anything. But
and it made me think, like, growing up, you know, since we already said I lived with her until I was 14. I was forced to go to church every Sunday. And if the church was having something going on a Wednesday, I had to go. Or we had second service, I had to go to that first service and then second service. You know?
Oh my goodness.
And you know, at the time I was like, oh my gosh, like I just want to go home, you know. But I do, like, I really appreciate that, you know, because growing up I used to see her all the time. She would go beside her bed and kneel down beside her bed and pray every night until she couldn't get down there anymore. You know, and I feel like that made me want to. So now I pray every night before I go to bed. I don't kneel down, but I lay in my bed and I pray, you know, because of my grandma. And I feel like I'm so kind, and I want to help everyone because of her. You know, like she would feed anybody. You know? She would do anything for anybody that she could do. You know, so like, I do thank my grandma. Thank her for everything that she did to raise me to be the mom that I am, because I feel like I wouldn't be able to show my kids that love if it wasn't for her. She showed me how to love and how to be loved, and I feel like it helped me in my life, you know.
Right.
Yeah. So let me stop going because I start crying, because you know. But I do love my grandma so much, and you know, I miss her every day. And I thank her for everything she's done.
Amen. Yeah. Okay. Well, happy Mother's Day to all the mothers out there. Happy Mother's Day to y'all. Beautiful, special, wonderful ladies. We all appreciate y'all. This one would not go around without y'all.
Hey, this was a great podcast.
I think so too.
This was good.
It was good. I loved it.
All right. Well, thank y'all for watching Judgment Not Podcast. Peace.